Welcome back to Summit for the 13th Sunday in Ordinary Time. My name is Mark. Let's get to it. Are you truly a friend of Jesus Christ? Are you truly a friend of the Lord? Or are you a friend in words only? If I was to ask you, how close are you to Jesus? Like emotionally, spiritually, how close are you to the Lord? If I was to walk you into a church and say, sit as close to the Lord as you sit to the altar, right? You can pick any seat in the church. How close to the altar, how close to the Lord would you sit? How close to the tabernacle would you sit? What would the proximity be? Would you be in the very, very back corner? Would you be outside? Or would you be right up at the base, at the foot of the sanctuary? Like, where would you place yourself spatially if I was to ask you, how close are you to the Lord? Now, at different times in our life, different seasons of our life, different weeks of our life, we might put ourselves in different places in proximity to the Lord. How close are we? But it's still a great question to have to answer, a great general question to have to answer. And ask yourself pretty much every day, am I walking with the Lord? Is he a friend or is he not? Am I walking with those who know the Lord? Am I close to them? Do I serve them? Do I walk next to them or do I not? Am I trying to do everything on my own? Or am I part of a church? Am I part of a family? Am I part of God's family? These questions are important. Why? Well, honestly, at the end of the day, you're either with God or you're against him, right? You're either with the Lord and his church or you're not. It's really hard to follow the Lord but not be part of his family. Right? We're reminded in the Gospels, like we're baptized into Christ's family. We're reminded this in the second reading from Romans. We're baptized into a family. And we're reminded in the Gospels that even though we have a family by blood, our blood brothers and sisters and parents, that to be part of God's family is something a little bit different. Something a little bit bigger. That there's families that we're in because of blood by birth, but the greater family of God we're in because of the blood of the cross, right? That we have brothers and sisters in the family of God. And that if we love anybody, even those we love most on earth, if we love anybody more than we love God himself, then we're doing it wrong. We've got it a little bit backwards. We see in the first reading, there's a woman and she cares so much about the prophet Elisha that she's showing him hospitality and serving him, wants to serve him. Why? Because he's a prophet of God. That in doing so, she knows that if she serves him, that she's serving the God that she proclaims to love. We're reminded, by the second reading that we are baptized into a family. Now, that means we have to care about and care for our brothers and sisters, not just in words, but in deeds. The way that we serve one another, when we look out for one another, when we love one another. We'd be careful not to lead others into sin, sure. But also we have to sort of look around and say, how can I, through my actions, take care of and love those who are part of God's family, those who are one with God, those who are walking with the Lord? And there are a lot of ways to serve ourselves. And there are a lot of ways that we serve our family by blood, those who are in our home. But we're also called to serve the greater family of God. Whether a prophet of God, someone who works in ministry, someone who works for the church, or just someone who loves the Lord and is trying to do it the right way. We're here to lift one another up and help one another out. Because we're all united by what? By the blood of the cross, by the blood of Jesus Christ himself. We're all united by the Trinity, by this family of God, and baptized into that family of God. And there's a power in that. There's a beauty in that. It's easy to wake up each day and see, how can I serve myself? How can I take care of myself? The beautiful challenge is to wake up and say, I'm part of something bigger. I'm part of someone bigger. And where is God calling me to serve others today? Not just in words, but in my actions.